A very common question is, when do I know I'm awakening? I mean, what are the signs? I still feel the same. I still feel the same depression, and nothing seems to be happening. The moment a being questions itself, regarding why, how, who, where am I here? This one begins to stir. See? When you're in deep sleep at night, and there is an awareness that your body and mind is coming to life, you know you're awakening. You know something inside says, it's time. Big deep sleep is over. So the moment you start questioning who, why, how, where you are here, is the first stirring. Now, it has been said that many or most awaken through revelational insights, experiences, and until any of these take place, it's just your mind. You see? Of course it's your mind. Of course it's your mind. It's your mind that's awakening. See? Your ego mind has closed you down. It has cascaded what is in front, feeding you with past old stale knowledge. So many will say you have to experience something. It's not true. Anyone who is questioning this world is on the primary route to awakening. The moment you question this world and what's going on, be it in whatever context, starvation, wars, poverty, you're questioning the world. Primary, very, very naive but important recognition of awakening. When this questioning of the world leads to questioning yourself, that's when the dream becomes shaky. You see? When you question the world, you're still dreaming about the world. When you question yourself and your purpose, the moment you raise that first question, and most will not be aware they've raised it, is the moment you start stirring. Now, I kind of like to call it this type of awakening as a series of mini yawns. Yeah? I have another question about myself. No answer comes. More depression. I have another question about myself. No answer comes. More depression. Suddenly something stirs inside. I have to try again. Mini yawn. Tiny mini yawns that the mind does not recognize, because the mind does not want anything to recognize that it's losing the battle of deep sleep. Mind is deep sleep. Ego mind wants to keep you in deep sleep. So you are on mini yawn, and you don't even know you're awakening. Because there's no revelational, no insight, no bliss, no beautiful experiences, no biblical and Bhagavad Gita and all these wonderful quotes that you've heard, and you think, my God, it'll never happen to me. Me. It's always going to happen to me. You see? Those gurus that promote this sudden realization, this sudden awakening, which Eckhart Tolle, but if you really asked Eckhart Tolle, leading up to that sudden, what was happening? He would say, you know what? I didn't know at the time, but it appears after this sudden awakening that something was always stirring, something was always moving, something was always questioning myself. This sudden awakening is what I call the big yawn. You miss out all the mini yawns, and you suddenly sit up in bed. The big yawn is like the Big Bang. See? Science. The scientific idea that you're a form. And much like the whole, that all hopes, beliefs and experiences and the system that they belong to crashes. See? That's the big yawn. And the Big Bang's the same. No one knows what's going to take place. The whole system crashes. The big yawn awakening means poof. One question, gone. It is so intense that there's a complete destruction or dissolution of ego mind in one big boom, like a nuclear bomb inside. Now, whether you're having mini yawns, which will lead up to mini bangs, mini bangs, see? Not one big bang, many bangs. There's a very long, arduous, but blissful way of awakening, leading to enlightenment. So whatever path that you will take, and you will not be aware of either path, unless it's a big bang. There's no more you to be aware. The paths are the same path. See? The Big Bang means several years of the dust settling so that you reappear. See? It's never not about you. You see? The minute you question yourself, mind will put in many fears to say you're going to die. It's not going to happen to you. You're not good enough. You're poor. You're white. You're black. You're male. You're female. It's not going to happen to you. The mind puts many obstacles in the way. It doesn't want to be awakened. It wants to remain in deep sleep. 7 years of this dust settling, where mind is exempt, and you return to this body. And the result from the Big Bang awakening, after And I use several years as a very open amount of time in our human time ways. The result is total contentment. See? No more total bliss. Because bliss is a very high fluctuating thing that cannot maintain its height. And when bliss comes down, you have a feeling of loss. It's not, oh my God, I'm losing it. See? You don't want bliss. You want contentment, peace, harmony. So 7 years of trying to put everything back together. Not you trying, but life itself saying, this one is gone. Let's put it back together. Kind of rebirth and put him wind up back on the path of the true state of stateless but content. No attachment to things, no association to things. The other one, several years of very slow mini yawns or mini bangs. Many bangs. Not trying to put together, but still breaking up. Now, this slow breaking up is not necessary for life to gather all the bits and put it back together, because as it's breaking up, life is taking the bit that is broken and already creating this new you, bit by bit. Several years of bit by bit inquiry. Several years of who, why, how, where. Every time a new revelation takes place, it's not a big yawn. It's a beautiful, lovely mini yawn. And something says, I like this. See? This something that says, I like this, as it goes on, disappears. And there's no one to like this. Same as the Big Bang. As soon as the explosion comes, the one is gone. And there's no one liking this. There's something being rebuilt to understand this. The mini yawns is a dissolution of the one that likes this. And what remains is simple this, liking itself. Balanced contentment. Several years of putting back together this dissolved mind, this dissolved state. Very dangerous, this one. See, many try and push themselves to this big bang, big yawn, I want it now experience. See? Very dangerous in the sense that you can walk not knowing what you are, because you are still involved in participating in this human world. And the result of either of these two ways is contentment, where the one that has taken whatever path understands that everything is the same. See? There is no difference between anything. Even the Big Bang or the Big Yawn and the Mini Yawn Awakening, whatever one this thing that experienced it will say, I experienced one, or this body and mind experienced one. But I can't see any difference between either. Because the result, an enlightened one never really understands what result means. But up until this period of time now, why I'm here now is that everything is the same. there is no sky, and there is no hills. They have names, but without the sky, the hills will not exist, and without the hills, the sky does not exist. And you can go through the whole A to Z world dictionary of forms, and your mind will not allow you to understand, or not allow itself to understand, but you can understand it. Think about it. The car cannot operate without every single part. And every single part, maybe billions of parts, has a name, car. The sky has a name. What is the sky made of? Can the sky exist without Earth? Can Earth exist without the universe? Can you exist without the sky, the sun, breath, oxygen? You see, everything is the same. Boring to the ego mind. So you'll know when you're awakening. You won't know who's awakening. You won't know why you're awakening. And in fact, you may not know you're actually awakening. But the outcome is everything's the same. Everything is the same. I'm free. This body is free to merge with this earth. This earth is free to merge with the universe. The universe is free to merge with the light. The light is free to merge with the mirror. The mirror is free to merge with itself. Itself is free to merge with the reflection. The reflection is free to merge with the lake. The lake is free to merge with the mountain. The mountain is free to merge with the sky, and on. It's not about who is awakening. It's not about where you awaken. It's not about how you awaken. It's not about why you awaken. It is all about these things and you and Hereness. Why is this taking place? Why am I taking place? Why is I taking place? Many insights, many yawns, many yawns to reach the same state as Yuji Krishnamurti. The dust is settling this way, and the dust is moving up this way. And in the middle is Buddha. All whole. Everyone has to awaken. Everyone is awakening. When one awakens, all awakens. Namaste.